Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 130 based on novel. So let's start. The Thunder Ancestor sat on the ground with a cold look in his eyes. My place of seclusion and slumber, he can even spy on it and transmit his voice. The Thunder Ancestor plundered. Flame Wind. The Thunder Ancestor used the communication order to send a message from a distance. That Milky Way Kingdom Lord, how much do you know about it? What happened? The Flame Wind Ancestor sent a message in confusion. I have never dealt with the Milky Way Kingdom Lord, and the information I know is also the public information you all know. Just now, he actually transmitted a voice directly to my place of secluded slumber. The Thunder Ancestor said solemnly. The Flame Wind Ancestor was also shocked when he heard it. They were venturing outside the origin world, and they needed to fight with the experts from billions of worlds, and also fight with many low-level chaotic origin life forms. So they all attached great importance to the safety of their living places. There are naturally many cave secret treasures and various protective formations for sale. Regardless of whether it is the Flame Wind Ancestor or the Thunder Ancestor, they must be careful to protect the place where they are in seclusion and slumber. It is certain that he did not jump out of the cage. The Thunder Ancestor said in a low voice, then to make this step, he should have obtained a certain extremely powerful secret treasure. You mean a truly top secret treasure within infinite space? The Flame Wind Ancestor also guessed it. The infinite space treasure trove, a treasure worth at least 100,000 reward points, was also famous outside of the origin world. Many half-chaotic origin life forms will buy such treasures at any price. But such treasures are too difficult to obtain. Like the Emperor Ming, with his outstanding performance in spiritual will, he has accumulated more than 110,000 reward points. But the realm of the Great Tao is the foundation. The Emperor Ming exchanged some of the inheritances that are most suitable for him without hesitation. Therefore, the remaining reward points are not enough to exchange for the secret treasures of, at least 100,000 reward points. For the Emperor Ming himself, this is also the most suitable choice. He is weak in enlightenment. Under the guidance of the special inheritance, with the help of the royal resources, and under the super strong spiritual will, he cannot understand the complete Great Tao. So he chose the chaotic origin bloodline to practice. It is much easier to tap the potential of the chaotic origin bloodline than to comprehend the Great Tao. Although the Emperor Ming has not reached the ultimate realm, he can even kill most emperors and monarchs in a one-on-one fight. The Thunder Ancestor only accumulated tens of thousands of reward points at the beginning. The Flame Wind Ancestor barely exceeded 100,000 reward points. But he also spent a lot on inheritance. Luo Feng only exchanged for an Eye of Birth and Death after accumulating more than 200,000 reward points. I heard that most of the truly top secret treasures in the infinite space are forbidden to be taken out of the origin world. The Flame Wind Ancestor transmitted the voice, the few that can be taken out of the origin world, those practitioners generally don't carry them. The secret treasures that can be traded in the outside world are generally tens of thousands of reward points. There are very few that exceed 100,000 reward points. Even if there is a trade, it will not be our turn. Looking at the many origin worlds and billions of worlds, where the strong gather from all sides, the Flame Wind Ancestor and the Thunder Ancestor seem ordinary. Yes, this kind of treasure is generally forbidden to be taken out of the origin world. Within the origin world, we can't do anything to the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. The Thunder Ancestor's heart was itched. He was truly greedy. Compared with the special life forms remains and the secret techniques passed down by the Yuan, the treasures of the infinite space with at least 100,000 reward points are the most special. It's just that it's rare for one to appear in many eras. Since he dares to show this method publicly, he is not afraid of us targeting him. The Flame Wind Ancestor said, he showed it publicly. I guess this treasure of his can't be taken out at all. Yeah. The Thunder Ancestor agreed with his friend's guess. Why did he look for you? The Flame Wind Ancestor asked. It's about White Demon and Land Duo. The Thunder Ancestor briefly explained the matter. The Flame Wind Ancestor understood. It is said that the Milky Way Kingdom Lord hates evil, and it's indeed true. He should want to kill White Demon and Land Duo, but they are both on Thunder Mountain, and the Milky Way Kingdom Lord cannot kill them, so he asked you to deal with them. I should deal with them? The Thunder Ancestor heard, he can't kill them, so he's letting me to do it. The decision is up to you. The Flame Wind Ancestor transmitted, if you kill them, I believe he will remember your kindness. If you don't kill them, this Milky Way Kingdom Lord hates evil, I'm afraid he won't give up. The Thunder Ancestor smiled, you are right, the decision is up to me. Thunder Mountain, in the ancient hall. Ancestor. The 8 monarchs knelt respectfully, and none of them dared to look up and look directly at the one above. The Thunder Ancestor looked down below with a cold look. He had all kinds of emotions such as fear, anger, dissatisfaction, and jealousy towards the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. But facing these monarchs who were kneeling at this moment, he couldn't raise any emotions at all. White Demon, Land Duo, do you too know your crimes? The Thunder Ancestor spoke calmly. The White Demon Monarch and the Land Duo Monarch were shocked when they heard this. They just felt confused. The reason why they dared to plunder in the territory of the Thunder Ancient Kingdom was because they knew the temperament of the Ancestor very well. The Ancestor was so high and mighty that even the monarchs like them didn't care much. The Thunder Ancestor didn't care about the death of ordinary royal gods. As for the countless creatures in the entire Ancient Kingdom, as long as it didn't affect the operation of the entire Ancient Kingdom, the Ancestor didn't bother to care. The cumulative number of creatures they plundered occupied about 20% of the wilderness area. After a while, they could naturally reproduce and replenish. I know my crime. Although the Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Land Duo had many thoughts, they responded respectfully without hesitation at this moment, not daring to refute. If they refuted, they would probably be turned into ashes in an instant. The consequences were more serious than plundering countless creatures. Since you know your crime, the two of you will go to the Heavenly Pillar Realm from today. Either get a special life form's remains or get an innate secret treasure. The Thunder Ancestor said calmly, if you can't do it, then go to extinction with the entire Origin continent. White Demon and Land Duo were confused. What? If you can't get the treasure, you have to die? Even if ones choose to reincarnate, he will still die when the Origin continent returns to extinction. Yes. White Demon and Land Duo were very painful and unwilling, but they could only obey the order. The Thunder Ancestor looked at them coldly, and then disappeared from the throne. These two monarchs are good tools he cultivated, so how could he possibly be willing to casually kill them? It was natural to squeeze their abilities, and to get a piece of special life form remains would be a big profit. Getting an innate secret treasure was also considered a small profit. White Demon, Land Duo, it's okay for you two to rob in the marginal kingdoms, but you rob in our ancient kingdom. Now that the Ancestor has severely punished you, you two should atone for your sins. You two, too presumptuous. The other monarchs did not sympathize at all. White Demon and Land Duo said nothing, turned around and left the hall. Huyang City, the quiet room of the City Lord's mansion, inside the Star Tower. Luo Feng opened the Eye of Birth and Death between his eyebrows and looked at Thunder Mountain from afar. In his observation, he could see the past at different time points. The world of countless past time points seemed to constitute a continuous huge video, and Luo Feng could easily observe these past videos. The goose leaves traces. All past experiences are imprinted in time and space. It's just that the stronger the strength, the stronger the self-concealment. Generally, mastering the complete Great Tao is very perfect for self-concealment. However, Luo Feng's Eye of Birth and Death is a high-level chaotic origin life form's observation ability that jumps out of the cage. Even the Thunder Ancestor and the Flame Wind Ancestor, Luo Feng can spy on some traces. Of course, they communicate through the communication order, and Luo Feng can't spy on them. Luo Feng observed the past time points and easily found the scene of the Thunder Ancestor summoning the monarchs in the majestic hall at the highest point of Thunder Mountain. Let them go to the Heavenly Pillar Realm and force them to get special life form remains or natural treasures? Luo Feng frowned. As for their minions, none of them were punished. Previously, When I looked through the memories of the old Jotun God King, I saw a lot of memories. Countless lives were sent to the monarch Lan duo. He opened his mouth and swallowed countless lives. Those scenes had already stimulated Luo Feng to kill. He had decided long ago. He had to kill them both. But under the protection of Thunder Mountain and the protection of the Thunder Ancestor, he was also very troubled. That's why he contacted the Thunder Ancestor. I showed some special means, but the Thunder Ancestor still didn't take it seriously. Luo Feng shook his head gently. That's just it, it's better to beg than to ask, it's better do it myself. Do it myself, although I'm not sure. But I have to try my best. For the sake of the countless lives that were swallowed. For the sake of the future, the strong men of the Origin Continent will not dare to swallow lives so wantonly. Luo Feng decided to go all out this time. No matter the cost. Two figures crossed a long distance and came to one of the entrances of the Treasure Land Heavenly Pillar Realm. It's all because of you. Monarch Lan duo said angrily, because of your instigation, I joined you in action. Who would have thought that this time I would anger the ancestor so much? You took the benefits, and now you blame me? Monarch White Demon sneered, you Monarch Lan duo at least have a clone in Thunder Mountain, but I don't have a clone. I want my real body to go to the depths of Heavenly Pillar Realm to take risks. When the Origin Continent returns to silence and I can't get the treasure, I will die too. Monarch Lan duo was very unwilling. As a monarch, he could have left the Origin Continent and ventured outside. No one forced you to plunder billions of lives and devour billions of lives. Monarch White Demon was quite disdainful. As they talked, they entered Heavenly Pillar Realm. At the entrance to Heavenly Pillar Realm, the two ancient kingdoms arranged guards, and the guard of the Flame Wind Ancient Kingdom was Luo Feng. It's the Luo He God King. Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Lan duo glanced at Luo Feng in the distance, too lazy to say more, as they were both in a bad mood at the moment. The two monarchs flew towards the depths of the Heavenly Pillar Realm. Luo Feng sat cross-legged there to guard the place, and just glanced at the two monarchs, finally here. At the same moment, Huyang City. They have arrived at the Heavenly Pillar Realm. Luo Feng's eye of birth and death between his brows watched from afar. Whoosh! One step. With the first step, Luo Feng reached the entrance of the Heavenly Pillar Realm. With the second step, Luo Feng forced his way through the two ancient kingdom formations at the entrance of the Heavenly Pillar Realm, and appeared in front of the White Demon and the Lan duo. Huh? Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Lan duo looked at the appearance of a man in a silver robe and a gold face in front of them in astonishment, and their hearts sank. The Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Lan duo both felt bad at this moment. It was Milky Way. He killed Emperor Yuan in 2 or 3 breaths. I can only hold on for 2 or 3 breaths in front of him. The Monarch White Demon was panicked at this moment because he had no clone. Is the Milky Way Kingdom Lord so crazy? The Monarch Lan duo was still calm. He had a clone in Thunder Mountain, so he was sure to save his life. Milky Way Kingdom Lord. The Monarch White Demon forced a smile and opened his mouth to speak. Humph. Luo Feng, wearing a golden mask, snorted coldly. The secret technique of the spiritual will had already arrived. The spiritual will that reached the upper limit of the Origin Continent cast the Lai Yuan technique again. Boom! Boom! The Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Lan duo could not see anything else at this moment. They only saw a huge star rolling slowly and crushing them. Even with the ultimate life form, even with the protection of the God Emperor level secret treasure, the vast stars rolled in and still crushed their minds. Crack, crack, crack. Countless cracks appeared in their minds, but the remaining will of the chaotic origin bloodline had always affected them. At this moment, they could no longer suppress the remaining will and lost control. The Monarch White Demon was in agony and madness. He was originally a white-skinned old man, but now his white skin was stretched and spread. A pair of white bone wings grew on his back. His skin changed from the original white jade-like luster to pale, with a breath of death. The blue-white scales on the surface of the Monarch Lan duo's body showed more dark blue, and his body shape and face were also changing rapidly. Almost in the blink of an eye, he turned into an ugly monster with dark blue all over. When the two of them lost control, Luo Feng's eye of birth and death between his eyebrows was always observing them. After losing control, their destruction weaknesses increased. Under Luo Feng's observation, the original dozens of weaknesses of the Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Land Duo instantly became densely packed with thousands of weaknesses. These weaknesses are also different. Some are minor weaknesses, some are major weaknesses, and some are even fatal weaknesses. But all weaknesses also need to be attacked enough to be threatening. If it is an ordinary first-level God King, even if he knows these weaknesses, he can't hurt the two monarchs at all. After losing control, without wisdom, even the ability to save life will be greatly reduced. Luo Feng stretched out his hand after seeing it clearly in the eye of birth and death. Boom! A 9-story tower appeared at a high place and fell down in an instant. When it fell, it affected the timeline to a certain extent. The Star Tower fell and hit the enemy at the same time. There is no hiding. The seemingly simple tower fell, but it was already a terrifying killing move to manipulate the Star Tower. Since obtaining the Eye of Birth and Death, Luo Feng sorted out his own knowledge system. Before, the Great Tao of Birth and Death comprehended 9 kinds of 8-branch fusion secret method, but could not go further. But now after the comprehensive evolution, Luo Feng finally took that critical step and comprehended a 9-branch fusion secret method. From the 8-branch fusion secret method to the 9-branch fusion secret method, it seems to be just one step. But it is a qualitative change. This is the ultimate secret method of the Great Tao of Birth and Death. During the 70 epochs, Luo Feng's Eye of Birth and Death has been observing the Star Tower for a long time, and his understanding of the Star Tower has reached a new level, and he can also exert more power from the Star Tower. No. The moment the Monarch White Demon was hit by the Star Tower, his desire to survive may have been awakened for a moment. At this moment of awakening, he had a feeling that he was going to die. He had no chance of survival after being hit by this 9-story tower. Didn't Emperor Yuan hold on for 2 or 3 breaths? At this last moment, the Monarch White Demon had no time to do anything, only confusion and unwillingness in his heart. It was as if a mountain fell and crushed an egg fiercely, and the Monarch White Demon was naturally completely annihilated. Luo Feng's attack on the Star Tower also contained means such as curse killing and karma involvement, which naturally affected all the resurrection carriers of the Monarch White Demon. The resurrection carrier is too fragile. Even if it hides in Thunder Mountain, trace of curse power can destroy all resurrection carriers. Curse killing? Karma involvement? Before obtaining the Eye of Birth and Death, Luo Feng knew these tricks. After obtaining the Eye of Birth and Death, he can clearly see the details of these tricks. These tricks are naturally evolved. One must know that the real high-level chaotic origin life forms can even pollute the souls of the God Emperor Realm experts, causing the God Emperor Realm clones hiding in the origin world to eventually die. Luo Feng's curse and karma are indeed not worth mentioning. The 9-story tower fell on the Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Land Duo at the same time. Both of them had no resistance and were annihilated. But the God Emperor level secret treasures they carried. In the environment of the origin continent, they were simply indestructible and all remained. After killing a Monarch White Demon, the Monarch Land Duo is still alive. Luo Feng frowned slightly, and the Eye of Birth and Death between his eyebrows looked far away in the direction of Thunder Mountain. He first attacked them with his spiritual will to make them lose control, then saw the most fatal weaknesses of White Demon and Land Duo, and then used the Star Tower to attack them with all his strength. White Demon died instantly and completely, without even having time to reincarnate. But Monarch Land Duo, his clones in other places were all dead, but his clone in Thunder Mountain was still alive. My curse-killing method was mostly blocked by Thunder Mountain, and the remaining power was not enough to destroy Monarch Land Duo's ultimate life form. Luo Feng sighed. Under the upper limit of the power of the origin continent, it is too difficult to kill an emperor or monarch. Back then, when he killed Emperor Yuan, it took 2 or 3 breaths of time. Although his strength has improved a lot now, and he has the Eye of Birth and Death. But he still can't do anything to Monarch Land Duo. This is also the reason why Luo Feng asked the Thunder Ancestor to punish him before. If the Thunder Ancestor really killed those two scums, Luo Feng would naturally owe him a favor. But the Thunder Ancestor is arrogant in his bones. You Milky Way asked me to kill them, so I killed them? What am I, the Thunder Ancestor? In the end, Luo Feng could only do it himself. Kill one, and one escapes. Luo Feng waved his hand and put away the God Emperor level secret treasures left by the two monarchs, feeling quite regretful. This. Deep in the heavenly pillar realm, the royal god kings of the two ancient kingdoms watched this scene from afar and were stunned. The Milky Way Kingdom Lord forced his way through the formations of the two ancient kingdoms, which attracted the attention of other gods in the depths of the heavenly pillar realm. According to the rules, the emperors and monarchs guarding the depths of the heavenly pillar realm need to repel the enemy. The royal families of the two ancient kingdoms, including the emperors and monarchs, saw the Milky Way Kingdom Lord attack the monarch White Demon and the monarch Land duo. For a moment, the two royal families did not dare to intervene. In the blink of an eye, the two monarchs died. Monarch White Demon is completely dead, even the karma disappeared. He died so cleanly that he probably didn't have time to reincarnate. Monarch Land duo has many clones, but now only the clone in Thunder Mountain is left. The god kings of the royal families of the two ancient kingdoms were shocked. Last time, the Milky Way Kingdom Lord killed Emperor Yuan, which took 2 or 3 breaths of time. Emperor Yuan had enough time to reincarnate. But this time? He was gone in an instant. He didn't even have time to reincarnate. The two of them are so stupid. They knew that the Milky Way Kingdom Lord hated evil, but they dared to plunder. Now they have ended up like this. In the future, we must never offend the Milky Way Kingdom Lord in the slightest. At this moment, the royal families of the two ancient kingdoms have already ranked the Milky Way Kingdom Lord and the ancestors of the two kingdoms on the same level, and determined that they are absolutely not to be offended. Not even a word can be offended. The two royal families will report back quickly about what they saw. The royal god kings in other parts of the origin continent also got the news quickly, and even saw the recorded scene of the battle. At the entrance of the heavenly pillar realm, Luo Feng was guarding here. Luo He. Master Emperor Chu sent a voice. Master. Luo Feng responded. The Milky Way Kingdom Lord rushed into the heavenly pillar realm and killed the monarch White Demon in an instant. Monarch Land duo was also killed, leaving only his clone hiding in Thunder Mountain. Did you see this battle clearly? Emperor Chu asked. Luo Feng responded, I saw clearly that the battle took place not far from the entrance. Now the Milky Way Kingdom Lord is still there. Don't interfere. Emperor Chu sent a nervous voice, you are a gatekeeper, and this level of existence is not something you can control. I understand. Luo Feng responded. You don't understand. You don't understand how terrifying it is to have the level of the ancestors of the two kingdoms. Emperor Chu reminded, remember, don't show the slightest disrespect. Not even the slightest hint of disrespect in your eyes. The slightest hint of disrespect could be the end of the world. No one in the entire origin continent can save you. Luo Feng felt that his master was worried about him. After all, he was at the edge of the battlefield at this moment. Don't worry, master. I think the Milky Way ancestor hates evil and should not implicate innocent people. Luo Feng transmitted his voice. Don't think so. Monarch White Demon and the Monarch Land duo thought that the Thunder Ancestor would not punish them for plundering and devouring countless lives. But what was the result? Emperor Chu reminded, when facing the ancestors of the two kingdoms and the Milky Way Kingdom Lord, don't bet on their kindness and their character. Luo Feng smiled, don't worry, master, I understand. Now he continues to keep his identity secret in order not to implicate the master and the strong men of the human race, so that they can have a safer environment to grow. On the other hand, he can do things more recklessly. It seems that this action is also a great stimulation to master and them. Luo Feng thought. Last time he killed the emperor, this time he killed the monarch. It can be seen from this, no matter how big the background is, the Milky Way Kingdom Lord is also not soft-hearted. The most important thing is, killing an emperor in 2 or 3 breaths is completely different from killing him instantly. Holy Land Thunder Mountain. In one of the palaces, that is where Monarch Lan Duo lives. Monarch Lan Duo sat cross-legged in one place, and a large number of cracks appeared on the blue and white scales on his body, and blood seeped out. He looked at the outside world blankly at this moment. All my clones in the outside world, including some clones in the treasure land, are gone. Monarch Lan Duo was a little confused. This clone in Thunder Mountain was cursed by Luo Feng, implicated by karma, and other multiple means. Although it was seriously injured, it was still alive. But all the clones in the outside world were wiped out instantly, which made Monarch Lan Duo shudder. Is this the strength of the Milky Way Kingdom Lord? Monarch Lan Duo was shocked and scared. I also lost 2 of my secret treasures. This time, going to the Heavenly Pillar realm to find treasures was forced by the Thunder Ancestor. Monarch Lan Duo's clone also carried 2 God Emperor level secret treasures, but now those 2 secret treasures have become the spoils of the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. Monarch Lan Duo gradually calmed down. He could accept the loss of a few clones and 2 secret treasures. Anyway, it's much better than the White Demon. He should be completely dead. Monarch Lan Duo thought, in the face of the 2 moves of the Milky Way Kingdom Lord, he won't have time to reincarnate. Lan Duo, hurry up and follow us to pay homage to the ancestor. Monarch Lei Xiao sent a voice message. I'll be there. Monarch Lan Duo immediately rushed over. This video will end here.